Ohio kid, Jeremy Scippio.
What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Kid. I don't know what
Back.
you're
Is he your third, fourth time now?
Is it? I think third.
Yeah.
I think third.
You might be my most regular African American guest.
Oh, really?
Well,
Oh,
my original co-host was black.
I'm about to say you.
So I had 5 years with a black man. Now I mix it up.
I'm the only one you're not offended. That's not offended by you. That's what.
No, I've had Justin Elliott and I've had a few cats in here.
Yeah, man. Shoot.
Had to have you back though because you're married now.
Yeah, man.
I know that was coming last time you were on the podcast. You were engaged. The wedding was on the way.
Yeah, man.
So how many weeks or months has it been?
It's been a month and maybe like a month and 2 weeks, maybe
A month.
like
All right, you think it'll last?
It sucks. I have to give the positive answer. I want to be like facetious on purpose, but like people take it so serious and they're like, "Oh, why'd you do it then?" So yeah, I mean it's great. It's been going great.
Yeah, and this is your first marriage, right? Listen, it's LA. You got to ask, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not, we're both over 30. It's LA. It could be the second, third, maybe.
I'll say this is my last one.
That answer passes the test with the
Yes,
lady.
yes, it does. It does. And you're over 35, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
See,
I'm 35. Yeah.
35. Yeah. See, I feel like you should have to have a fucking license from the state to get married before 30.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't think
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can make a good decision before 30. So at 35, I figure you know who you are, you know who she is, and you're gonna deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like for better or worse, you meant it. You know, like you meant that line in the nuptials.
Yeah. Well, it's funny with couples. I mean, I always wanted to be one of those people like marry my high school sweetheart, whatever. But yeah, I wasn't. I would have missed out on all the fun. I mean,
missing on all those other bitches.
Yeah. But it's interesting when you see those type of couples. I listen to taking their advice. Some of them, it's funny. They'll be married for like 10, I ain't gonna say 20, but like at least 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And then they'll just get divorced. So I feel like we've been together long enough to where, like the way we argue, the way we do things, like if we would have left, we would have left a long time ago.
Okay.
Right? Like what our lives are is pretty much the same, So,
all right.
Yeah.
How long were you guys together before you got married?
I love and hate that question. Let's see.
Oh, so it's on again, off again, huh? You got to add them all up.
You know how
you got to stack them up.
Man, it is. You know how it is.
Well, her answer and your answer match.
Oh yeah.
That's all that really matters.
But her answer changes though. Like it depends on it has. It didn't. I remember when it was like when I proposed or whatever. People was like, "Well, how long has it been?" Like, "Oh, it's been 7, 8 long years." I'm like, "That's since we known each other. That's not since we've been together." But I like to say at this point, like 6 or 7.
Okay.
6, 7 years.
I always put it at the last date if I was in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were on again, off again, the last time you were on again is when that's the last relationship.
Ooh, I can't say that. That'd be in that case. It's like right before the pandemic. That's 3 years maybe. No.
Oh, so it's a new relationship. So it's a real honeymoon. Okay.
Yo, I'm gonna start using it as my answer. Actually, that's funny. but I can't wait to stack the years of a marriage though. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I just feel like when you say how long you've been together, like married. I think that's the heavier number.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys have been on again, off again, and it hasn't changed, why decide to get married? Why don't you just be together?
Yeah, that's a highly technical question. I think that I needed to feel this. I needed to feel the pressure. And also just to move on to a new stage of life. You know what I mean? Like it's just
you need new material.
Well, there's so many like what is it? Like ceremonial things in life that don't really mean it's like celebrating a birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm more in the line of. It's like it's not the marriage is just a representation of what we already have. It's not that people like to do the thing like, oh, you get married and then things change.
Yeah.
And you add religious aspects or just practical aspects. But I just say for me, this is where we at. I want to move on to the next stage of my life. And also, I know we want to. I think we both come from situations where our parents weren't together or whatever.
Okay.
So
trying to break the cycle.
I mean, ish. I mean, I'm also with the shits. Like whatever happens. But we just accidentally did it the right way, quote unquote.
Was she pushing for the marriage, or was it like you guys were just like, fuck it, let's do it?
I mean,
or she like, it was about time we do this shit.
Yeah, I would say she. I like the way she was because she wasn't pushing, but I would say I was probably like 6 months from that starting to be the case. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so I kind of beat her to the chase of it.
Oh, you felt the pressure coming. She didn't say nothing.
No, I knew. We moved in together, and I knew that because she wanted to be married before we moved in. That's
Old school, okay.
Yeah, but I logically I couldn't.
It's cheaper, babe.
Well,
We're leaving this money on the table like that.
I just couldn't imagine marrying somebody without knowing how we live together.
That is
You know what I'm
crazy,
saying?
dude. That people do that. They get married without living with somebody. You have to live with somebody before you marry them.
Yeah, my cousin, I remember when he was going through his marriage situation. It's funny if people watch this. Whatever.
And they know your cousin.
I don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, I remember he was, trying to do things the right way, with the non-shacking up. And it was a lot of pressure on him because, he had to, I think they was abstaining from marriage. From sex too. So,
oh my God.
I mean, he, I respect.
God bless him.
Power respect to him, and I remember he had to move all his stuff from like one city to the next, just so when he gets married, he'll be able to then have sex and be in the same house at the same week.
I mean, that'll get you to move quick if you haven't hooked up yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I trust me. I wanted to do things that way, but it just, the logical side of me just was like, I need to live. I need to know what that side is like.
Yeah.
But once we everything's stable, which was like about 2 years.
Okay. So you guys moved in during the pandemic, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, son. Talk about I mean, that's really getting to know somebody. Living with them permanently indoors for fucking a year and a half.
Yeah. We it made. I guess it just made sense. Only thing that sucks is all those people who were like. I don't know everybody's situation, but a lot of people weren't paying rent during the pandemic because of all the programs and stuff like that. But we moved in the middle of it, so that would have been awkward to be like, yeah, now that we were in here, I ain't paying shit.
I ain't paying no rent.
But people was getting over, man.
Oh yeah.
It was like, I was like, fuck, like it is what it is.
Dude, $200 billion. That's how much they stole during the pandemic.
What you mean?
So all that pandemic money they gave out like 1.2 trillion or something.
Yeah.
Something like $200 to $300 billion is unaccounted for.
Really?
Stolen.
Really?
Stolen.
Man.
I want my fucking piece. I didn't steal shit.
Man, I don't know. I really, because some people did, get theirs off. You know what I mean? I was very hesitant. There was so many little, there was legitimate things and there was like schemes too.
Yeah.
And then some people were still in like unemployment.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest scheme.
I mean, I collected unemployment, but I had it coming to me. Like,
no,
I was due unemployment.
People was collecting Social Security numbers.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Guys in jail in the state of California. What's his name? Scott Peterson. He was that guy who fucking killed his wife. Something like 1,200 California state inmates figured out if they just give out Social Security numbers, they can get unemployment checks. So they stole like 30 million. Like they just started a scheme from jail. They started the scheme, and Scott Peterson was involved. It's called like $40 million.
Man, I think I talked about this before. I used to do taxes, and
oh shit,
yeah, not like a big Jackson Hewitt.
Nothing special.
Don't come to me for your tax needs.
You're the Dunkin' Donuts of doing taxes.
Yeah, basically. I used to call it the McDonald's, man. Like literally, the thing that annoyed me so much was that people thought like something special was happening. I'm like, literally, you're telling me your order, and I'm putting it in. I have no I don't have an opinion on this stuff.
You're not an actual accountant.
It's not the lottery. You can't just like come here and win money. Is whatever. But some people, man, Social Security numbers are gold. If you can get one and add people as a dependent and move it around, you come up. Some people really do come up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I get frustrated when people like that much gets stolen because it's like, fuck, man, we all get fucked on that. Like the taxpayer pays. But then on the same token, I'm like, I should have got my fucking piece of it while the getting was good.
See, I'll tell you, when it comes to those type of statements, bro, do you know where most of our tax dollars go to? No, I shouldn't say that. The most expendable thing that our tax dollars are spent on.
Probably
bombs.
Bombs, yeah.
Bullets.
Yeah.
Bullets.
I can't even imagine how many
bullets, bro.
Yeah, man.
So that's why when we pointing fingers, I'm like, yo, there's a lot of practice ammunition.
Oh, well, dude, every administration since Jimmy Carter has increased the defense budget, Republican or Democrat. You can't be in office and not increase it. Yeah. And the fucked up part is, just this year, the Department of Defense, I think they got like a 15% increase, some crazy shit. It went from like $750 billion to $825 billion a year. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, we only wanted 790. Like, we don't want this extra 40 billion. And they made them take it. They made them take the money, son.
Yeah, it's
fucked up.
It's hard, and yes, that's our money. But it's like, what you gonna do? The only thing you do is come up with a
we gotta give it to
next pandemic.
I mean, we gotta give it to Ukraine. Somebody's got to use our bullets.
Whew, there it is.
I know, man. I know. It's always something, dude. It's always something. But you guys gonna have kids in this crazy world? What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I'm probably 2 years removed. Even though
How old's your girl?
I'm not allowed to tell you that.
No, I mean, is she like?
Of age, Randy.
What is he
of
doing,
age.
dog?
Well, is she running out of time? Is what I'm
He's lucky
asking.
I'm not a successful actor, or I wouldn't have told him my age. Yo,
I just wonder if you're running out of time. Is she like putting pressure on that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I believe. I think it's a matter of health. You know what I mean? You know, and my girl's, you know, relatively healthy. You know, way more than me. I'll say if there's a problem, it'll probably be on my end because the bullshit I put in my body. But no, I mean, I think we're in good timing. You know, I just think, you know, our careers. You know, pretty much right now, I feel like I'm just trying to recoup from the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, stack up some dough, and then you know, so she'll be able to chill out. That's it.
Nice. What does she do?
She's an actress.
Oh my God, you got 2 headshots in this household.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
tough,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, man.
That's tough.
Yeah,
Is
love costs, bro.
As he scratches his head.
Love, bro.
I didn't even ask. She you marry a black chick? Interracial? What'd
Yeah.
you go with here?
You know what's funny? That's like
Because I can't peg it on you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
like it can go either way. Like, a lot of black guys, you can tell, like, oh, it's only going to be a black chick. Oh, it's definitely going to be a white girl with this guy. With Jeremy, it's like, I don't know.
Well, thank you.
You know what I'm
Thank
saying? Like,
That
I
is a
don't know.
compliment.
It can go any
I'm gonna
way with
tell you
that.
why
It can go
that's a
anywhere with
compliment.
that.
Because everybody assumes it's a white girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and even you asking the question is hilarious. But most
No,
of-
see, I would. You could. I feel like you can tell usually. You know, like.
Yeah,
You know,
this-
like,
this is
like
what
he's
I'm-
gonna feel guilty if he goes with a white girl. That guy, so he's definitely dating black chicks. But if some black guys like he's only dating white women, that guy. You know, like,
Man, it's funny. Somebody was like, other day was like, "Hey, man, you know, I'm proud of you because, you know, no offense though, no offense. It's just, you know, I thought you probably would have had a white girl." He was like, you know, because honestly, you know, it'd be like those pro-black dudes.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
it'd be like,
Militant-
yeah, they pop up with a white girl. But nah, man, you know, I would say, you know, I've never officially been with a white woman. You know what I'm saying?
officially been with one.
Yeah.
We gotta get like a letter from the.
No, I'm saying like, you know, it's like your girlfriend. And,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I made out.
You've dated somebody you never like had a relationship with one of them.
Yeah, not even, you know, of course there is some holdback, whatever, but also I just generally didn't find them attractive at first.
Oh, you don't like white women?
Because,
Interesting.
well, you know what? I really believe this. You know, I really believe that you can't control what you're actually into. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I agree with you 100% because I had this conversation with a friend of mine, a friend of a friend. You know, my buddy's gay, and I was a gay friend. He's like, oh, it's kind of you know, bigoted that you're not like into trans women. It's like, believe me, if there was like, you know what I'm saying, like, because I don't want to have sex with a trans woman makes me a bigot. It's like, I'm sorry, my body doesn't want that. It's like my body doesn't want a man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh man,
like
the
I asked him
the
I was like,
mental hula hoops.
I know. I told him I was like, dude, well, it's kind of bigoted. You don't want to fuck chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your problem? You know, like, you come at me with that. You know, like, it's weird.
You said is your trans friend?
No, he's gay, but
He's gay. Oh, he's
yeah.
gay. Okay, yeah, he wants to fuck you. But anyway, because rule
That's what
number
it
one.
was. He's trying to edge me over to the gay side by
Rule
trans
number
women.
one: say whatever it takes to. Like, there you go. Now you're doing this for equality. Like what? Don't you feel better now that you're fighting a
come to
good
the
fight
parade now.
Yo, what? but no, man. I say all the time, like, because you know this world's getting so crazy. I'm like, I'm just glad what I'm into is legal.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I mean, if I had to pinpoint it, I would say, you know, I grew up in the hood. You know, just that old school, and then watching TV. I grew up with that, like, I guess old school mentality of like I would like a girl in school, and you know she wouldn't be like the, you know, the finest. Well, we were kids too.
Yeah.
So that's, but you know, like I was
She
just
wasn't the finest kid.
basically.
That sounds weird, Jeremy.
Yo, there's a J. Cole song that people love, and he's reminiscing on. He's talking about how fine this girl was when he was in like when he was
yeah,
like,
it's a little
like a
weird.
kid. I'm like, yo, that's weird, bro.
Taking it too far there.
But I just always wanted a girl that was like me. You know what I'm saying? And I would spend all year, you know, trying to get with this girl, and I've done that. So I would always, you know, when you're thinking back, like, man, what made me like that? You know?
Yeah.
You know?
I think there is something natural about it. Like you are just into whatever you are. Like I feel like you're born gay, you're born whatever your sexual preference is kind of in you. But there's definitely that formative part where, you know, I grew up in Queens with a lot of Latin women. Yeah. I love Latin women, you know, fat ass and all that stuff. That's sort of what I'm drawn to. But that's because when I was going
When I'm drunk.
when I'm drawn to.
Oh, drawn to. I thought you
when
said
I'm
when
drunk.
you're drunk.
Well, definitely when I'm drunk. But I mean, when you hit puberty, that's what you're like. Those are the options that were around me.
Yeah.
So all of my options, you know, when I was coming to like, you know, going through puberty and coming, you know, sort of learning about my own sexuality, that was what was it. So like, it's always gonna have a special place in my heart. You know, a Puerto Rican girl with a fat ass.
Yeah.
It's always gonna have a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, just being out there, I couldn't imagine you avoiding that. So yeah. I mean,
sure.
but yeah, I say, now I'm older and I'm more mature in my taste. I can look at a white woman's body and appreciate her, but I'd say, growing up, I didn't want no parts, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Was your mom proud you brought home a black chick? You married him?
It's, you had those conversations, like that.
We would have loved her anyway, honey, but we damn sure prefer she's black.
Well, my mama she just be happy I'm straight. She don't care about that. She don't care.
That's what you said at the wedding? Oh my God. I'm happy you're straight, son.
But my mom, she never had any, you had those mama's boys, whatever, that situation where, you're not going to love nobody more than me. My mama was never like that. She was like, push me into, that stuff. She was very open with like sexual conversations. I hated it.
Oh yeah. There's nothing more awkward. They don't tell you that as a they don't tell parents that, like, oh, you gotta have to have the conversation with your kids. Like, your kids don't want to have the conversation with you.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable. No. My mom or dad talking about boning. It's like, no, I don't want to talk about that. Like, I'll listen to my friends.
Well, besides, every Sunday I can hear her through the wall, so it didn't
matter, On the Lord's Day?
You're gonna hate this. But yeah, man. So yeah, I just no, she never really had that conversation with me. But it's a subtext. Especially in the black community, it's a huge conversation. I think that conversation is way more important to I say black women as a whole. Not gonna say my mama, but and I remember when I brought her over to my my great aunt's house, and I think it was a conversation between her and my mom. Something like, she said like, oh, like, yeah, Jeremy's coming over with this girl. Like, oh, that's great. Like, what is she? She assisted. I'm like, yes. But yeah, no, I just fell for her, man. I ain't really think too much about it, honestly. Yeah. I just fell for her, man.
What is that? Why is there such a big thing with black women not liking when black men date white women? Is it just because there's not enough good black men and they think there's like a shortage or something?
I could attempt to answer that question, but that's the whole podcast, bro. Be honest with you. But the simplest form.
That's very deep.
Yeah. No,
I'm sure it's a loaded question because
no, it's a common conversation. I think that conversation gets bigger every day. It's not as like the effect it has on black women are important to me, but like who a person dates specifically is not as important to me. Okay. But I think the root of it is just wanting to see more of your own and wanting to be valued by the people I guess you look like. I'll tell you the thing I kind of disagree with. People be like, well, your mother's black. And I've been thinking like, who wants to date their mom? Like, ain't nobody trying to fuck their mom. But that's like the number one thing. Other than that, I understand the sentiment. I identify with you black women. You know what I'm saying? I rock with y'all. You know what I mean? That's why I married one. Also, I always think like it's funny when those conversations erupt and I be thinking about how black women treated me. I'm like, y'all don't treat me special. And I always chose y'all. They be like, black men do not be dating black women. I be like, what about me?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like intra-racial things going on in the black community that people don't talk about. Like, that's one of them. The light-skinned black guys versus dark-skinned black guys is another thing out there that I had conversations with friends of mine about. Yeah. And I was like, there's like a weird animosity amongst them. Like, well, no, like apparently light-skinned black guys go in and out of style.
Yeah, but that's just trendy stuff that societal pressures. You know what I'm saying? We all have them. I think it's interesting the perspective that different people take because some people will view the other as better in some light, shape, or form, and then vice versa. I'll say even with me. Excuse me. I'm trying to burp into the mic. You didn't get that right.
It's all right. Cool. We're gonna put that on the clip. That's gonna be the clip.
I've been holding it for a minute, but I guess in today's world, like say dark skinned guys are considered more dominant or masculine, and light skinned are considered more, like Drake is kind of pushing the narrative.
Okay, yeah.
Like however Drake is or does, that becomes a new thing. But I would say for me growing up, like the light skinned guys were like the cooler ones. Okay. The more, had more of the girls, whatever. Dark skinned guys. You kind of wait until your turn. But you had examples. You had Shamar Moores and you had your Morris Chestnuts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, either way, I think the spectrum is beautiful. And then I also think it's kind of annoying that some things get highlighted in the black community when it's in almost every community.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I always try to, when in those small conversations, I try to point fingers other ways too. Like, hey, they have that over there, or whatever, or just the way white people treat ginger people.
Yo, yeah. I mean, I'm old enough to remember white on white racism.
Oh, go talk about it. What is that?
Talk about it.
Missed those days.
Well, yeah. They were better days when white people fought amongst themselves. It was a lot better.
It's called World War II.
Exactly.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Down in history.
Yeah, man, calling Germans krauts and shit like that.
Yo, nobody wants to be white no more, man. Like, what's up with that?
Oh, white was never cool.
It was cool. What do you mean?
White was never ever cool.
No,
man.
fucking Zach on Saved by the Bell, bro. People
No,
wanted to
man,
be
Mario
Zach,
Lopez was fucking cool.
No, he was not, bro. He was
Mario Lopez was
He
slick.
always was getting done over by Zach, bro.
He had Jerry curls and he was
way
ripped.
cool. Bro, get out here, bro.
Come on, I was a Mario Lopez. I'm still a Mario Lopez fan. Shout out Mario Lopez. He
yeah.
follows me on Twitter. What's up,
In
bro?
the long run, yeah. In the long run, I think he kind of, but yeah, in that show, bro, he was the jock. He was corny. He was corny, bro. He had the Jerry curl.
He
Bro,
didn't have the phone, which was crazy. He had a cell phone at school. Zach Morris.
Big buff dude always getting punked by his girl for saying chicks.
That is true.
Come on.
That is true. He was browbeat by his woman.
Dog.
What's that about? Why did the Latin guy get pushed around by a white woman? That was fucked up.
But yeah, you had Bart Simpson. You had Macaulay Culkin.
He's yellow,
you had
son.
fucking-
Bart Simpson's yellow.
Bro,
The Beatles?
You know what? That's another thing too.
John Lennon was cool. The rest of those motherfuckers were square as shit.
Somebody said a joke last night. I felt like deserved more love. They said John Lennon was like the Paul McCartney of the Beatles. Nobody thought it was funny. I'm like, why do the person who
That's
knows
great.
the least
Listen,
about
yeah.
white culture, think that's funny? Yo,
That is pretty funny.
Yo, it's so subtle.
John Lennon was like the
Bro.
Paul McCartney of the Beatles.
Nobody laughed. I was like, oh, shit.
That's a great turn of phrase right there.
But
No, man, but there was a time, dude, like growing up, like where the Italians didn't like the Polish, and the Polish didn't, and the Polish didn't like the Albanians, and nobody didn't like the fucking, the Gypsies, like Gypsies don't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
They were like, that was like Yugoslavians. That's what we called them. That's what they called themselves actually in Queens, which is pretty fucked up. Like growing up, like there was a kid who lived across the street from me who had like cerebral palsy, and his family called him retarded.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like times change. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but, I said, no, but back then it wasn't.
It wasn't a
bad.
thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't a thing. You
bad.
think about it now, like
Any
goddamn.
ailment was considered retardation. Back
That's
then.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
back then, yeah.
But there was a time where you weren't like white wasn't white. You know, like guys, dirty Italian. You talk to him. You know, they're fucking from wherever. As if you aren't like British, you weren't white. You know what I mean? Like there was a time, and now it's like they even lump Jewish people in with white people when it's convenient.
Well, yeah, I mean, tell you,
You know what I'm saying? Jewish people are the most loved and hated people. They'll go from one side to the other quick.
Yeah, the most anti-Semitic thing I have ever done was assume Jewish people were white people, and I still don't really find the distinction other than just facts. You know what I mean? Like factually, yeah, fine, but in my spirit,
Yeah.
that's just. I mean, growing up, like I always get lumped in with people who had who grew up with white people, but I didn't. At least in my early age.
Oh, you didn't?
I went to all black school, and there was, I guess.
So you seem like a guy who's grown up around a lot of things. So you seem very comfortable in any situation.
Yeah, well, I'd say my mother, I give her credit for that because she's purposefully. There was an advanced school that I could go to about third grade or whatever. I think fourth grade. Pretty much, she sent me to that school.
Yeah.
On purpose because it was more diverse. And then after that, I went to a performing arts school, which had everybody.
Yeah.
That's why none of this LA shit shocks me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I say the one thing, like transgender or even just cross-dressing or whatever, we had a lot of that in Cincinnati. What shocked me out here was seeing two men hold hands walking down the street. Never seen that in Cincinnati.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, but somebody like dressed up as a woman or just wanting to identify
different
something
style.
different.
Yeah,
Like that was so nothing to me. So nothing. We had so many different types of people and whatever. But I would say initially, yeah, strictly black people.
Yeah, we had trans people when I was a kid. They called them transvestites.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know what a vestite is.
The
That's what I don't get. Like if that was transgender, which I get, that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
but what like transvestite? It means transitioning from a vestite. What's a vestite?
Man,
Does anybody know what a vestite is?
There's so many terms.
I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Yeah, it's so many terms, and I love coming to this podcast because I feel like every word is gonna get me canceled with you. I love it. It's gonna be great, bro.
Yeah, I keep it real here.
I can't
man.
wait for refuting stuff we
Whatever
talk about.
vestite is, it got chopped off like the hard arm.
Yeah, exactly. They got rid
It's
of
not cool.
they cut off the vestite.
That is, I know that word's transphobic. I love it. But anyway, look. But
Well, I'm not calling someone transvestite. I'm saying they called them transvestite
no, of
when I was
course.
a kid.
No, you don't have to defend yourself. I'm with you. I think that word is stupid. And but it's funny that like back in the day, there's so many words and terms that were just part of how we spoke. You know, and we didn't know the full thing, and then it evolves. But in fact, you can be chastised for for using that term. Like because even like there was a rapper named Mulatto. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We learned that word, mulatto and mestizo, we learned in like third grade history class. It was in the textbooks. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
which is fucked up. But at least they taught us what it was, like.
Yeah, but I guess it means mutt, but it also means like, it's like, it sounds cool. Like the word itself sounds cool. I don't care, bro. So anyway, this
sounds like gelato. I love gelato.
This rapper got in trouble for, she's a mixed person, calling herself mulatto, since it's a term that's offensive to people who in the 1980s. But today doesn't mean anything. She had to change her name.
Okay. I can't believe that a hip hop artist got fucking had to change lyrics. Like that's the one place where free speech lives. Hip hop, son. They could still call women bitches and drop the N-bomb with reckless abandon.
No, it's not freedom of speech. Because especially right
now. As long as you're a black rapper. If you're a white rapper, you got to be told the fucking line.
No. I disagree. I feel like comedy is way more free than rap.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it's just you gotta be up on the trends, and you gotta be pushing things, and you pushing like stuff, and man, rap is to me is very contrived and political. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even kidding, bro.
I guess in some part that's the thing too. I guess it moves with the time. I remember when it first started. Fuck the police in the late '80s, and then it went into the party shit with fucking P Diddy, and then it went back to the street. It kind of goes back and forth, I guess.
It definitely. I mean, I think there's different strokes. And then also what's trendy and how much money it can make people. You know what I mean? But bigger than that, I'm just because to say the freedom of speech part, like I say the reason why it may seem free is because they're getting these rappers and locking them up for the stuff they say.
Oh, are they?
They're self snitching. That's all. You know what I mean?
Self-snitching.
Yeah.
They're ratting each other. Like, how's that?
You rap about like, I
heard that. They're trying to lock motherfuckers up for lyrics now.
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, I think it's kind of unfair, but also if you're directly doing things and talking about doing
if you committed the crime and then rap about committing the crime, that's one thing. But if you've never committed the crime and you rap about a crime, then it's not. That's the thing. Like,
but it's also
if it's
fictitious. That's also considered lying. So it's like,
yeah, but we lie on stage. Like, you don't do everything you say on stage. Sometimes you finish the joke out with the most funny outcome possible, not what you actually did in the scenario.
Yeah, but we live in a world where context doesn't matter anymore. So
I hate that.
Sucks.
That is the problem. So context is the only thing that matters.
Context is everything.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. But actually, I like the name of that place next door. I was like, context, okay. Somebody gets it. But yeah, it's funny that with hip hop, it's very I feel more free as a comedian than I would ever as a rapper.
Really?
Heck,
I can't believe they're coming for rappers, man.
Yeah. You said what?
I can't believe they're coming for rappers.
Well,
they were above it, dude. Like
niggas is killing each other. I mean, if you commit a crime, go to jail, do some time, bro. I'm not against jail, I'm against unlawful, locking up of people and all that stuff, and also get into like how corrupt the prison complex is. But
I can definitely get into that.
But I believe in timeout. You know what I mean? Like you're doing too much. Go somewhere for a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you shooting people and singing about it, go to jail, bro.
Well, I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. Once you make it, I mean, like ostensibly some of these guys, I mean, look at John Morant. Guy fucking made it and he's waving around a gun. It's like, bro, you don't have to do that. You could hire a guy to carry the gun. Come on, man. Like you got to be smart. That's some young people shit. It's got to be his youth. Just the ignorance of youth has to be shown right there.
Yeah. It's I mean, I give him some credit though. People always hate me when I say this though, because right now trolling is marketable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, between Trump and Kanye or whoever, you know what I mean? 50 Cent, you can name a bunch of people, of all sides. The ones that get the most attention are trolls. And, it's like, you can turn it if you decide, hey, I'm gonna turn over a new leaf, or you flip it, you can turn it into endorsement deals. You push products.
That's crazy, man. That is so true. Yeah. Now it's not. It doesn't matter what you're getting camera time or airtime for, as long as you're getting the airtime.
Yeah. So if he flips it, good. But if he keeps doing the stupid stuff and risking, he's getting like a regular.
He's gonna get a Smith & Wesson endorsement,
bro. That's funny. That's funny. Yo, Ja Morant, get yours, bro. He's ahead of his curve.
That'd be
bro.
great. The NRA's would endorse John Morant.
I mean, and I don't want to call what Kaepernick was doing was trolling because I think he meant what he was doing. But look at all the endorsement deals, and he had a whole TV show come out.
Yeah.
Basically, he wouldn't have got that if he just would have played football good. You know what I'm saying? I did it on purpose. Don't come at me with the well shit.
And that's the other thing too. People say like, oh, if if this was so and so, they wouldn't have done it to him. It's like if this is Tom Brady, like yeah, well, Tom Brady's a fucking Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like Kaepernick was good.
Yeah.
But he came off the bench and was good, and then went back and forth. Like by the time that shit broke, he was like 30 years old.
Yeah.
He only started 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
There was younger guys coming up. Like like I said, if it was Patrick Mahomes who took his knee, you can bet he's going to make the team and no one's going to say shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Kaepernick wasn't good enough player to overcome the problem of the media attention he was getting for that.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, it worked out. I mean, look, because when I talk about sports, man, 5 years of you doing any sport, that's intense, bro. People don't ever give these guys enough credit.
It's hard,
bro. And they be like talking about their money. Like, I think they deserve more, low key. I mean, like if all things considered. So, 5 years, man, you need a retirement plan. If your retirement plan is being a civil rights activist and you're actively doing something about it, that's cool, man. I know he still wanted to play, but bro, there's so much more. I mean, and that's other stuff too, charisma or personality and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't see the necessarily flaw in it, but I understand people's apprehension when it came to him or even how he played and all that stuff.
What I didn't get was was like how offended people got over taking a knee for the flag.
Yeah,
I mean, like think about it this way: like you kneel to a king, right?
Yeah,
you bow. Like in some ways, kneeling is more respectful than standing. Mm-hmm. So they were like, you shouldn't kneel for the flag. It's like, motherfucker, they kneel to royalty. Like it's almost a bigger sign of respect in some ways. And he got that idea from Nate Burleson, who was on his team, who was in the Marine, he was an Army veteran.
No, the kneeling was the alternative. Yeah, because he didn't want to.
He sat and he's like, that's not right. You should kneel. He's like, okay, I'll take a knee.
Yeah,
it's a weird. It was weird. It was like the softest way to protest, and people got really hot about it.
Man, in the world of where you talk about context is everything, man. I know. Like I go on stage and I be like, I hate white people, and I get applause breaks. So I know that other texture that goes into, what I mean? It's people taking it personal. They're taking it personal. These are people who idolize the flag in a way that's symbolic. That's true. Me personally, I leave symbols as symbols. There's no symbol that has that effect on me that much. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Period. I know, and that's not disrespect to the flag. I understand what the flag means. I understand what colors mean, and it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? And also you talk about, separating the church and state.
Yes.
You have a privately owned National Football League. This is a business. You know what I'm saying? It's just a company owned by specific people, and you're saying you're bringing the governmental stuff into it, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but nobody has to adhere to that. Yeah. Zero people have to adhere to that.
They never used to do the national anthem, like up until it was I think it was 1999 or 2000.
Really?
They would do it. The players they would do it, but the players were in the locker room. The players came out afterward. It was around 9/11 that they started having the players on the field, and now I think the NFL gives like $400 million a year to the armed services pay the NFL $400 million a year for advertising. So they're advertisers. They're buying ad space. So the NFL is trying to appease its revenue stream. They don't give a shit. They don't care one way or the other.
Man, people don't pay attention. I say anytime there's like public like discourse, and people getting upset about traditional things, I'm like, just pay attention to the money. It's the money. I was looking at because people complain about like the NFL halftime show, right? And I forgot what the complaint was, but you come up with all type of excuses. And no, that's not traditionally how we do it. And I think even something about black people doing it or something. I don't know what it was, but regardless, I actually looked up the history of NFL halftime shows and how it evolved to. Man, that shit used to be so whack. It was trash, bro. It was garbage, man. And then
the Super Bowl halftime was just
man. I was
a marching band came out,
bro. It was you had the mascot just doing backflips and I forgot what changed it, but then once Michael Jackson did it, it made it like, oh, this is a spectacle now.
Yeah,
And
well,
now
it drives up ad rates, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It drives up advertising rates so the NFL makes more money.
Yeah, so if it just never happened again, your feelings shouldn't be hurt, bro. It don't matter like who does what. Like, you know, all this stuff is, you know, it's contrived, but you know, if people want it's emotions. And that's one thing we always have to remember when it comes to and even conservatives act like they don't have you're emotionless robots, but then as soon as somebody don't kneel to your flag, all of a sudden you're like, but yo, it's emotions on both sides. You know what I mean?
They'll call Democrats or liberals a snowflake, and it's like, what? Come on, man. Oh, here's Michael Jackson right now.
That's the one.
What year was this? 93,
I think. Yeah.
Damn, son.
Yeah, that's the one. That
So good.
yeah, it was. Yo, best performer, man.
I mean, it was Mike.
Yo, you know.
By the way, Michael Jackson was more trans than most trans people today.
I am not going there with you, Randy.
I mean, he was like he was like
I haven't done
transracial. He was transgender. He was doing it all at once, dude.
He found the line. I went everywhere with him. I'm not going there with you.
He went from a black man to a white androgynous person.
When I host the Oscars one day, I don't want to have to explain. I'm like, Randy Valerio's my friend.
Look at him. He's dressed like a third world dictator. So he's dressed like Muammar Gaddafi.
Definitely dictator vibe with these easily could be golden bullets.
I know, right? What is he wearing, dude?
Yo,
who is his tailor?
People would pass out over his dude.
I know. Could you imagine being that famous motherfucker? You walk in the room and people just faint.
Could you imagine playing like the most intense game of your entire life? You've been working your whole life like I gotta win this game, but Michael Jackson had to have a concert in the middle of your shit. Like,
I know, right?
Like this is a concert now. It's not a football game.
That was a genius move. Whatever NFL executive was like, we should get Michael Jackson for the halftime show. Turn this shit into an event.
Yeah, and
because that's how they get women to watch it now. Women could give a fuck about the Super Bowl. They want to watch the commercial. We're watching the game. They're watching the commercials in the halftime show.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. I'm even talking to women about sports. Not all women, I understand, but talking
some
about
lesbians
sports.
do like sports.
What women tend to do is base how they feel about how they like how much interest they are into a player on how they make them feel.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So if if a guy fucks up 3 times, then he's mud. I don't care how many how many trophies or records he's broken. Like it don't matter.
I mean, dude, if I feel like how many women like let me be specific. The Kardashians.
Okay.
Right. I mean, how many careers have those women ruined?
Okay,
you know,
ruined. Please don't make me defend her, Kim Kardashian today.
Ruined. I mean,
ruined.
Kanye.
She didn't.
Bruce
ruin.
Jenner.
I would say of
he's
anybody,
gone.
You can't say ruined. They had a whole like career. He made that
Lamar Odom
is mutually beneficial. Lamar maybe, but I don't know if they introduced him to crack. If he was like in the situation, he's like, I gotta go do crack. I have to go do crack right now.
Something about these women. They latch on to a guy on his way up and then just fucking take him down.
Well, Travis Scott's doing well. I would say his money went up since.
Like 4 people died at his concert. He's getting sued. What are you
You
talking
can't
about?
blame that on the Kardashians.
I like to blame all my problems on the all the world's problems. I like to blame on the Kardashians.
I would say Tiger probably some of his money got hurt on that. But Kanye, I would say it was the opposite. I would say him making his moves probably hurt their brand.
Fucked them up a little bit.
But when Kanye gets upset, he gets super honest. So he was like telling inside baseball on they stuff. So
I mean, how much of his antics do you think he's truly like bipolar? Because I think he's bipolar. I think there's something.
He's bipolar, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like there's
I don't
something.
think it's a big deal.
Like, oh yeah, he's bipolar.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, bipolar is like, it's which I would say the misconception is if like it's not like he has a paranoid schizophrenia. You know what I'm saying? Where you have multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
Like he literally just really high highs and really low lows. You know what I mean? And it's apparent. How he talks in exclamations over stuff. What's important to him is extremely important.
Yeah.
It's funny. My girl, I remember she was when one of his outbursts when he was going. I love the fact he was doing like podcast after podcast and going off.
Oh yeah, he's going on Alex Jones wearing a sock over his head.
My girl was like, "Yo, if you know what he's saying is BS, why do you keep watching it?" And I was like, "No one's ever provided this much entertainment to me."
Yeah, I mean
it's hip hop, it's sports, it's politics, it's religion. it's like he's hitting all the marks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's in all the hot buttons.
Yeah, it's there's some good, there's a lot of bad, but it's entertainment.
Do you think Kanye makes it back?
Makes it back. What do you mean?
Like, do you think like he can pull back from all the anti-Semitic things he did and make it back to the mainstream and not have that hang over his head the rest of his life?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at this though. Like when you gotta look at this actually what helps me with depression, because I technically don't experience depression. I have bad days, but for me personally, like, you gotta go, what's the high versus what's the low? He was, I think, between 2 and 6 billionaire, and he fell like his low
500 million.
Come on, bro.
Like,
come the fuck on.
Yeah, no,
he will be all right.
But he lost a lot of respect from people, right? And people think he's an anti-Semite.
You can buy
people know he's an
respect.
anti-Semite. I mean, he said it out loud.
You can buy respect, bro. He's good.
That's a good point. You can buy respect.
Yeah, $500 million. Like,
you make it back in this day and age, especially if you're a big time celebrity like that. You just got to go on Oprah. You go on Oprah. You say you're sorry. You say I was dealing with a mental health issue. You shed a few tears about how hard your life was before you became a billionaire. You know.
Well, he's already past that. He's past that. Like, if anything,
you don't think Oprah will have him?
Well,
Oprah will definitely have Kanye on.
Kanye is more influential than Oprah. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying, that's the way America forgives you. You have to go on Oprah and do a one-on-one. I mean, she did it with the royal family and shit. Like she's like America's therapist.
Kanye, in that role that you're talking,
yeah,
his influence is bigger. Kanye apologizes to him. Don't give me bigging him up. I don't need to. But Kanye apologizes.
I work in Hollywood. There's a lot of Jewish people out there. I'm not trying to.
Kanye apologizes to himself, and the world forgives him.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah, I mean his words. Like, I think the one thing I would say, I think it's the same thing Eminem had, is when you show a level of vulnerability, people believe you. You know what I mean? And you gain their respect, especially when they're not getting it from other areas of people in similar positions. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, like Kanye West has a little more respect than a Jay-Z, who maybe, let's say, directly earned his respect, but Kanye's been so vulnerable that you trust him more. You know what I mean? So I
guess you know who he is more because he's more honest about who he is, more upfront about it. Yeah. But
it's just different tactics, though.
But I think my big, I mean, obviously I'm not down with the anti-Semitic stuff he's said and done. But what I've always not liked about him is how he believes his own bullshit.
You don't like that about him?
I know that's what makes him popular.
Well,
but I don't like that about him.
That's the qualities you want in a leader, believe it or not. Like, good or
that's
bad.
Not the way I roll, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know why other people like it. Like everyone likes fucking Conor McGregor, right? They love the guy who talks shit,
yeah.
big mouth, right?
Oof.
But he got his ass beat a few times. You don't see him talking shit when he got whipped. Whipped.
Yeah.
But a real man would. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the sort of a person who leads by example, not with their fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Kanye has a big mouth on him. Yeah. And I get it. He's like, I'm the best, this, that, and this. And I'm like, man, you're the best producer. You're not even close to the best hip hop artist of all time.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's part of the
Nas is looking at him laughing.
Hey, you know that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's the best.
My favorite.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking
that's my favorite.
Talking about, dude.
But you know what though? I guess I admire Kanye's strategy. How he moves.
That's what it is. It's a strategy.
It's how he moves.
And look,
and he I think when he apologizes in his head, he means it.
That's what I'm saying. And also, I don't. You're right. I might think he believes his own bullshit, but it just might be his strategy. He might not actually sit there and think I'm the best ever. He's like, but this is my brand. I'm gonna sell this brand.
I think it's both. I think both could be equally true.
Yeah.
I think that it's become so a part of him. I mean, the fact that somebody like him shouldn't have made it to where he's at. So why would he stop? I mean, that's the one thing that's apparent. When he was a producer, they was like, oh, you should just stick to rap. You stick to rap, and then you should stick to producing. And then he he's obviously to go from that to be one of the biggest rappers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. In every area he's done that. So that strategy has worked. I mean, even with the anti-Semitic stuff, right? It opened up conversations. You know what I mean? That weren't even happening.
That
before.
Actually, oddly enough, that is a nice offshoot of that. It did bring into focus what is the fact that there is still, obviously everyone knows there's anti-Semitism in the world, and Jewish people have to harp on it, but there is particularly between the black and Jewish communities.
Oh yeah,
a weird rift that needs to be bridged, because if there's two communities that are very similar and they don't even know it, it's black and the Jewish community.
Well, it's
family oriented,
right?
Hated upon for millennia. They got all this shit in common. Like,
that's a whole nother
kind of
podcast,
mainstream
too.
now, but kind of not. You know,
That's a whole nother podcast too, because that relationship has always been there. Believe it or not. I mean, you want to talk about what is hip hop by definition. It probably is Jewish culture and black culture together in one.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to admit that. You know, and that's what,
true.
because it's American
Rick Rubin,
conversation,
fucking,
and
yeah.
that conversation turns into anti-Semitism. That's why it's hard to talk about it. But to be honest with you, Russell Simmons, with the creation of Def Jam, and also, you know, with Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was bringing those two worlds together. Even with Nas specifically, you know who discovered Nas, right?
Was it?
MC Search.
Oh no shit, yeah.
Who's Jewish, and he's honest about it. Yo, you take 2 seconds to look at him. You know what I mean? And they you know, and you want to talk about appropriation? Jewish people were very open. The ones that, I have to be specific, the ones that did, obviously every Jewish person is not full of, you know, this is how society makes me talk now.
Yeah.
The
you
purpose
have
of
to
everything.
caveat shit before you get into
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
But the ones that did, they're very open with the idea of appropriating another culture. They weren't ashamed about it. It wasn't a lot of shameful stuff to it. But that's what it, and that was I would say, if black culture, the hip hop black culture in the Bronx, you know, in New York, that was the root. The megaphone was Jewish people, the Jewish people who had the money and the power to
push
make
it
it
out there.
worldwide.
Yeah.
Hip hop's the #1 genre of music in the world right now.
Yeah.
You know, that wouldn't have happened without the influence of Jewish culture.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And I always take like a weird position on the cultural appropriation, because it's like, is it appropriation or is it just like celebrating the best part? It goes it's
too far.
appropriation if you do this. It's like, I just enjoy that part. Like, you can't eat, you know, tacos on Tuesday. It's cultural appropriation. Like, I like tacos. They're delicious. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it goes
pizza, right? We all appropriated pizza. The Italians should be fucking pissed. I don't see them running around, you know, saying don't eat pizza.
I agree. I understand. It's confused. It's just, it's the same thing with
It's not like you're clowning them though. Like, I get it if you're fucking, you know, it's like a minstrel show and that's fucked up.
It's a percentage, and it's a deeper conversation that we all need, Americans, you know, including black people who are being authentic, who see it in other people, you know, like, who get upset about. I say with originality, right? Originality is such a weird concept, because people say, "Oh, you took this thing from me." Everybody's taking stuff, like, you know, we all start off as a blank slate, and then you're inspired by things. Like, even with comedy, right? Like, you know, we saw somebody doing stand up and was like, "Oh, I want to do that."
Yeah.
You know, you didn't come up with that idea yourself. So I say, even the concept of like originality is a percentage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
nothing is truly, anything. I mean, nothing can be truly original, because you have to start from something.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You have originality, you have original, then you have like inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Which I would say is like up to like 30%. I think anything beyond 30% is now starting like even an imitation, right? Now we're like 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's too much.
Yeah.
I have to give you credit, because 50 is like obvious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anything beyond that, I feel like the same thing with cultural appropriation, where it's like, oh, yo, if you're paying homage, is different from when you're like making fun of.
So
And
you're
you don't
saying
even
I
know.
can't have an afro, son?
I mean,
I get my hair permed to put an afro on?
Depends on the context. I have my own definition of cultural appropriation.
What's that?
But it's my own. I
You don't want to get into that?
no, for real. It's to me is when you are making money off of another culture.
Yeah.
Or even advertising another culture, but that culture is not benefiting off of it at all.
I can see that.
That is, to me, the definition of cultural appropriation. But that is, if you I'll be honest, if you look it up, you're not gonna find that. That's just me. But like, for example, MC Search was making a lot of money off of Nas. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, Nas was able to. Oh, let's look at this. Is this?
Cool. Yeah. What's that? What's the definition? The unacknowledged or inappropriate adoption of the customs, practices, ideas, etc., of one people or society by members of another, and typically more dominant people. His dreadlocks were widely criticized as another example of cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
That's just a hairstyle.
Yeah, but you know, but then
It's also a dirty fucking hairstyle.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All
No,
right.
I heard you can't wash that stuff, son.
That's not how that works. You can.
You can?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how little I know.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much more into that, and even like the term dreadlocks. I said a lot of this is feelings. It's hard to navigate
That is
people's
true.
feelings and then add history into it. But I personally feel like when you learn the history, it can be fun. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't know the history, and you can't expect everybody to be a fan of these concepts. I'm a fan of concepts. I'm a fan of existentialism. A lot of people aren't. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's why I came up with my own definition, because I see people hurting. I see people having fun. I see people hurting. I see people like the fact that Adele, she went to, I forgot where she went to, and she's like dressing up like the people there, and it hits the internet and she's getting clowned.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
it's like,
sometimes they go overboard, you know?
You know, and then also you got to be aware, you know what I mean? Yeah.
What's he pulling up? Oh, this bitch?
Yeah, she got clowned.
Adele.
And I felt bad because I'm just like, yo, she was like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm blending in with the people here. They probably did her hair.
Where was this?
Where's it? It's Jamaica, right?
She's in Jamaica, and she thought that, and she posted that on her own page?
Yeah, and you know, she probably dreamed, you know, she was a bigger girl. She probably dreamed of this moment. Like, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm just going to fit in.
And they're like, what are you
Finally.
doing? You're not Rihanna.
I'm going to fit in.
Yeah, but it's so many layers to that. I think that definitely needs to be a bigger conversation. I try to be as diplomatic as possible, but I have my triggers too.
Oh, of course.
You
know. Of course. I know. Well, I draw the line at transracial. Right? Fucking Rachel Dolezal, so she's bugging out.
Yeah, man. It sucks to be born in a race you don't like. What can you do? What can you do, bro?
You can change your gender in 2023.
Yeah,
you
man.
can't change your race. They won't let it happen.
Yeah, man. If I hated being black, I'd run for president. You know what I'm saying? I just that's the best way to prove, like, hey, I could be white too.
I identify as white.
Yo,
that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the world is getting more complex, man. You know, and it also getting more ignorant. I mean, we
have more information and less critical thought.
Yeah, people might, you know, do that soon. Like,
it's coming.
Like fight for rights to be transracial. You know?
Oh yeah. To be like,
and
I want to be transracial, and you got to accept it. It's
yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, because checking that box is like, it's a form of discrimination. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, not even just being a different race, but checking a box, it makes it easy to go, okay, all right. You know?
You start separating people easy.
Yeah. So if you want to be accepted as a white guy and you're cool with, I mean, I don't see. I actually.
Yeah. Why would you want to be white?
I like how you did.
Fucking corny.
You almost did like the white impression. Why do you want to be white? Yo, son, why you want to be so white, bro? You know what I mean?
You want to get a little news before we get out of here?
Yeah.
All right. I picked this one just for you.
Okay.
Couple finds out they're actually brother and sister after 10 years of marriage.
And they live in Kentucky, right?
Let's find out.
What's wrong with that?
An American couple has sent social media into a frenzy following the discovery that they're siblings after 10 years of marriage with 2 kids. In the short video shared on TikTok, the couple revealed that they only recently discovered that they're siblings, and they've been together for over 13 years. According to them, they discovered that they're brother and sister after 3 years of courtship and 10 years of marriage. The husband who made this revelation in the viral footage said he first met his wife, turned sister, in 2008, and got married in 2011. The couple did not provide additional information on how they discovered they were siblings, but netizens pointed out that their story is very convincing because they share similar resemblances in facial features. So I imagine they went with the 23andMe or one of those DNA tests, like, oh, let's see what our background is. So you know they're white because black people.
Were they both adopted?
They didn't get into it. I don't know. I mean, obviously
they knew. One of them knew.
One.
yo, no one knew.
Could you imagine if you did it? How would you respond if you and your girl took a DNA test and you found out like you're half brother and half sister?
Honestly, she's from Cleveland, I'm from Cincinnati. We're both from Ohio, and you know, people say, even her mother jokes about us looking alike.
Well, all black people look alike. No.
Man, you know what? That's not true, but you know what is true? You know what is true? I look like all black people. It's kind of annoying.
You got average black face?
Black man, look, I'm the primordial black dude. I'm like, I created all y'all. Like people, that's the people's favorite thing to say to me. Like, you know who you look like? Like, yes, like family member, cousin, everybody, bro. Everybody, bro. You know, I look like, anyway, I look like I died 10 years. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, if I found out that, you know, and I already been living my lifestyle, I mean,
you just stay with it? You stay with her?
Yeah, I'll just burn the paperwork, bro. Or to actually be dope though, like you should be able to to start over. Like for real, like your marriage just shouldn't count.
Oh, of course, yeah, they should be able to wipe that away.
Yeah, like that's like the only way.
How did they find out? Both their kids came out with fucking brain damage.
I was gonna ask, like, how close were their eyes together? Bro, that's like
how big were those kids' foreheads?
That's actually kind of cool. Like those kids should be like expensive. Like they should be like that's like a French bulldog of like.
Oh yeah, like inbred. Yeah, like
yeah.
They got breathing disorders.
Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to procreate, but they should have like an immaculate life.
Like, it must be like devastating for the two of them. But the kids was like, what the fuck? Like my mom and dad are brothers. I'm like I must be fucking ruined.
Don't tell the kids. they might get the wrong idea.
It's in the paper.
What do they have like a male? They might just continue the tradition, like
yeah.
But no, I like inbreeding, because different states have different laws on that.
Oh yeah.
And some, like, I mean, I joke about Kentucky, but I'm not sure what their law is. But some places it's really not. I think like you can even do first cousins, but I don't think.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like. Some states still have an age of consent below 15. Like, if you're out in Alabama, it's like 14. It's like, what? Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Some states are like, it's real backwards.
But yeah, if that's the way you've been living your lifestyle, man, I'd say, and you have neighbors, bro. It is what it is. At that point, it just become a trivia. Like, fun fact, that's my wife and my sister. Like, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know if I can do it, man. I mean, obviously, you couldn't turn off your feelings for your wife. You've been over for 10 years. You have a family. Mm-hmm. But just the idea of knowing it's your sister, it's like, this is not right.
I mean, but if
this is not right.
If you already been smashing, like you ain't gonna, like that's gonna stop you. Like
fuck it. Kids came out all right.
Yeah, I mean, bro, it is what it is. But I would say I definitely would need more information
to figure out what the fuck's going on with that.
Yeah, because that's I hate. There's no way I could imagine. Like you never asked that. The moment.
Well, it's got to be 23andMe. They must have like got each other like, oh, let's get 23andMe for Christmas. So it's always white people too. I don't know many black people that do like the DNA test.
Yeah, well, my girl, she did. I didn't. But
really? What did she find out? Is she black?
But the thing is because I would say black Americans are the lost tribe of the world.
Of course, yeah. So I mean, God knows how much
Yes.
The slave trade, you could be 1,000 different things.
So when you find out, how what part of West Africa or Nigeria or whatever, I'm honestly not as curious because I just more so am more concerned with like Black American stuff than actual African stuff.
Yeah,
I admire African culture, but I admire African culture for its history, not for my connection to it. Yeah, that's just me personally. Yeah,
I hear that.
Yeah.
All right, here's the last one. A man, 30 years old, dies with a ping pong ball up his ass after being electrocuted while pleasuring himself.
Oh yeah, that's what he wanted. Yeah.
The single 30-year-old from the Czech Republic who lived with his parents was found dead on the floor of his bedroom by firefighters who had to kick the door down. His concerned parents called the cops after the door was locked and they didn't hear him, breathing or anything like that. So the police found an electric massage device laying next to the unidentified man, who was still connected to the wall. So he had a ping pong ball up his ass, and he had apparently was using the electric device to pleasure himself, and there were burn marks on his genitals. So I guess he was fucking an electric fleshlight with a ping pong ball up his ass, and he electrocuted himself, dude. Could you imagine the horror of having your parents find you like that?
Yeah, I mean, people, like I said, I'm just glad what I'm into is legal and keeps me safe.
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, I feel so bad for these people who have to have elaborate things to come.
Yeah.
It's like, I need 2 ping pong balls up my ass and an electric toy plugged into the wall to come. 30 years old.
He'd been doing that a while.
That's what I'm saying.
Before he found the limit.
That's what I'm saying. It's always like those guys like, oh, he killed himself. Yeah, he was jerking off with a belt around his neck. He died by accident. It wasn't a suicide. It was an accidental suicide.
What's his name?
David Carradine.
David
Carradine. Yeah.
Who you say?
Robin Williams.
No, that's not. Oh, come on. No. Don't do my boy like
David
that.
Carradine was found in a hotel closet with a belt around his neck.
Yeah.
Jerking off.
Yeah.
He died jerking off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, well, that's got to be conspiracy, but also, how many times he had been doing that, and getting away with it,
yeah, 1 out of 10,000 chance, and he caught that 1 out of 10.
Yeah. But man, look, if that's what you need, bro, that's what you need. I mean, hey, he found Nirvana, bro. He found that.
I mean, well, it seems like I wonder if he finished before he finished.
I mean, it's probably right there. Probably if you get it all at the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all at the same time.
It's just like, do you see the white light? Like, yo, this is it. This is.
Yeah, I wondered, like, do your parents say he committed suicide? Is that less tragic than saying he died jerking off? You know, like what will do the least damage to like to his family? Is it better saying, you know, he accidentally jerked off and died because he liked something weird, or he committed suicide, he couldn't be here anymore? You're like,
Man, it was like, yo, he died doing what he loved, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I wouldn't even feel. You know how like when people die and you know it's like just all of a sudden you're like, man, we couldn't foreseen this. He was doing stuff that gives you pleasure and leads you to death. It's like, yeah, I mean, he died doing what he
definitely died doing what he loved.
They said ghosts have unfinished business. Like
he finished.
Yeah, he finished.
He finished his business.
Either that or a ghost be like, man, now I'm stuck doing this forever because I didn't. Yo, I got the most perverted.
Yeah, where are all the ghosts doing the jerking off? The jerk off ghosts. You know, like I killed him. I accidentally killed myself jerking off. You never hear from those ghosts.
No. This perverted ghost.
Would you find what happened to David Carradine? He did die in a closet, didn't he?
He died, yeah. That's what I heard. Autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There it is.
Biggest word I know.
According to the medical examiner who performed a private autopsy on the actor, his body was found near naked and hanging by a rope in a closet in a hotel room in Thailand. Dude, in Thailand, you could pay for anything. Why the fuck would he jerk himself off? And there was evidence of recent orgasm. Evidence of recent orgasm.
Evidence.
Jizz. And then we call it jizz.
It's like this carpet is so hard.
Evidence of recent orgasm. So at least for him, he did come before he went. Good for you, David Carradine. Shout out David Carradine. It was not a suicide. I mean, it was an accidental suicide.
What was it called in Kill Bill? The finger of death, the palm.
Oh, the touch.
Yeah, he did it to
touch
himself.
Only had five. He gave himself the Kill Bill. He gave himself the Kill Bill finger touch of death.
If you only had 5 steps, would you jerk off before your 5th step?
Oh yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah.
5 seconds, 5 steps. That's right. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's like 1, 2. Well, hold on, wait.
Yeah. Let me get this nut out quick.
Yeah, man. Yo, man, that's famous, right? Infamy, right there, bro. That's what.
I mean, there are worse ways to die. There are worse ways to die.
That is the goal, man.
And look, you know what's funny about that is if you die doing it, the embarrassing part you're not going to be around for.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, getting caught jerking off is embarrassing. Getting caught dead jerking off is not embarrassing. It's not as embarrassing.
Man.
You're dead. You don't give a fuck.
That's ball. You can't. That's like supreme. That's IQ a billion. You know what I'm saying?
And I say that all the time about people when they pass away, man. People are like, oh, don't talk ill of the dead. Like, why not? They're fucking dead. You should be nice to them when they're here. You know, be kind to people when they're alive.
I want that.
Fuck that. Trash talk me when I'm dead. You know
I want that on your headstone. like, what do you want on your tombstone? Yo, trash people while they dead, bro. Like, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm saying what I gotta say. No, I try not to speak ill of the dead, but I would say that if you enter public like conscious, like I talk shit about George Washington, dog. So you know what I mean. Like,
once you're a public figure, it's all over.
Yeah,
it's all
yeah. I'd say there it is. But yeah, if it's somebody like that you wouldn't say to them or whatever, like you wild, bro.
If you wait till they're dead, they're not trash them. It's fucked up.
Like,
that's fucked up.
I don't fuck with them anyway. Like
don't wait till they're dead. Trash them. You hold it in at the eulogy, you give it to them.
Yeah. But if it's somebody like y'all, that was y'all report. That's what you say. Like, why not? Well, and also too, I think it's funny because there's a lot of stories about Richard Pryor coming out. A lot of stories about who was it? What's his name? Quincy Jones. He was telling on everybody. Yeah, he's talking about Marlon Brando. He said Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor had sex and stuff and all this stuff. He was going in on so many people. His daughter came out and was like, Dad, he didn't have his nap that day.
Yeah,
he's going from
I was like 91, got Alzheimer's and shit.
No, he was telling the truth.
He fucking ratting people out, putting them on blast.
So that's what I feel like. You just don't speak ill of the dead. Like don't bring up.
Oh, don't out them in the dead, but don't out them when they're dead.
Yeah, Patti LaBelle told on Luther Vandross said he was gay the whole time. I'm like, let it.
That's fucked up.
Let it stay a mystery, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I like that. Back in the day, celebrities, you didn't know a lot about their personal life. They were much more of a mystery. It made them look cooler.
Yeah, it'd be rumors, but
people thought Liberace was straight.
Yeah.
Can you believe that shit? Like, motherfucker wore a cape.
I tell you, the biggest conspiracy of all time. People are still convinced that Prince is straight, and if you suggest otherwise, you will be vilified.
I mean, I feel like he's Mike Nell and I spoke about Prince before on this podcast. I feel like he's everything. You know, he's
He's the symbol in the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
That's the
He's the plus. He's just everything. You know, like.
But he said that he, you know, I don't know if he said. But
I bet he did both.
But see, even you saying that is unfair to somebody who's only been straight.
That's true.
So that's what's weird. But I guess but at least I like the fact that it is a mystery. Like,
I know,
just
yeah.
mysterious as he is.
It's cool as a mystery, yeah. Living in Paisley Park in Minnesota, of all places. Dude, this was fun as always, brother.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations on your nuptials,
man.
my friend.
Yo, man, I can't
My
wait.
best to your wife. Give her a big wet kiss for me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I can't wait to be canceled for one of these podcasts.
I know. You got anything to push? Where can they find you?
Jeremy Comedy on Instagram. Jeremy Scippio, Scippio on most things, including .com. Where can you find me? Mostly at the Comedy Store where I'll be trapping. Let me see. I am going to be. When is this coming out?
Wednesday.
Okay, cool. So I'm actually be on a little. I don't like to use the word tour. Little run. I'll be in Kansas, Great Bend, Kansas. I got 2 Texas dates. And I'm doing Oklahoma and Kansas City, Missouri.
Ooh, he's always in the middle of the country, son.
Yeah, man, that's my people, man. Old white conservatives.
How you identify.
Yeah, and, man, one day, bro, I'm gonna reach that
pinnacle. All right, guys, that's it for this one. We love you guys. Check you next week. Peace.